opening up. Here we go. Woohoo! Ready to roll. Hey, everybody jumping in here as we open up. Exciting day. Louise. Oh my gosh. Hello, Louise. Oh, how awesome. So, for those that are just jumping in here, Louise, we welcome her today actually because she's in South Africa and she does the fireside chat for Women in Drones. Super cool. So I encourage you to check that out. Good to see you here today. Look at this, amazing people jumping in here. All right. I'm sure Kim's got some hellos to do and shout outs.
Oh, hello. Love the picture behind you with the whale. We're getting a lot more. I don't know if you guys know Joanne, but she did on Fox News with all her drone footage in the Hamptons. It's really cool when you're in an area that you really know and that you can capture the season. So she first did sharks. That was her big thing. And she got the sharks eating the in the bunker fish. And then I don't know, did you guys see that? It's on Instagram. And then she got the whale coming up. And I said, how did you like stay still? She said, I was shaking the whole time. I would be too. Like, your dream comes true, right? So welcome. I'm glad. We're so excited to have Great Lakes Drone Company here. Ladies, my Great Lakes Drone Company, my dad was in the Navy, so I lived up in Michigan and in Illinois for a while and swam in the Great Lakes, and it's like an ocean without salt. I mean,
it's very bizarre. Yes, it is an ocean without salt.
It's crazy big. And I remember when I first got into drones and I was looking up drone footage, there was a kid, he was like 15 years old, he had a Phantom 3, and he got hired because he just would go out when the Great Lakes was frozen, go out and he'd just start filming it. And next thing you know, he got opportunities to, and nobody had seen that kind of scenery. It was beautiful. So yeah, we're super excited to hear from you.
Yes, we are.
Love it. What part of are you ladies in Michigan or where are you at?
We're in Coloma, Michigan. So we're very close to St. Joe, right along Lake Michigan.
So you're way up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Higher? Yeah. Where all the nice boats are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a whole different world up there, you know?
It is.
Awesome. So we are just about to get the ball rolling here. Give it a few minutes. People are just jumping in here. Of course, I do have an amazing announcement to make, and I am going to put something in the chat that I encourage you to check it out. So Women in Drones, and tell me this, who does not know Skip Fredericks? Right? Oh my gosh, he's so amazing. It's super exciting. And we have a workshop coming up that is being presented by Skip. He's going to be doing a cinematography boot camp. It's super cool. We have a demonstration with Sony coming. And so I put a link in there. If you're at all interested in going, check it out. Women in Drones and Skip Fredericks are doing a workshop for cinematography. I'm so excited. Just in case I want to make sure I let you know, November 4th and 5th, that's coming up, and that's going to be in Palm Springs. What a perfect time to be in Palm Springs, right?
Totally. And also, if you don't know, Skip Fredericks, for you that don't know, I mean, I'm sure there's several that don't know, he is 2 times nominated award-winning cinematographer. So he was the first person to fly drones in LA, right, on the movie sets, Desi?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's his claim to fame. So yeah, that's exciting. So he ain't no fly-by-night.
Although he's doing a night operation.
That's right.
Exactly. Right there. He's doing a night operation. So I do see a hand up. I didn't know if you have a question. I think it's Lenise. Or are you just doing shout out? Yeah, definitely want to go to that. Yeah, okay. Awesome. There we go. Okay, well, we just want to welcome everybody. We thank you because we just enjoy our Tuesday mornings. Love connecting with everybody. And I am super excited to see so many people here. And I think you know why, right? So everybody wants to know about drone shows, and we have an amazing company here, and they are from Great Lakes Drone Company. I'm super excited. And we have actually Haley, and Ashley here today, and they're going to share about their drone company and what they are doing. Super excited. I'm going to make you spotlight. Thank you for joining us on Women in Drones Coffee Connection.
Thank you. We are super excited to be here. We are going to walk you guys through our Great Lakes Drone Company. So we have some subsidiaries, and what we're going to focus on today is our Starlight Aerial Productions, which is our drone show company, and then our Great Lakes Rescue Division, which is our community outreach that we are able to provide to the communities in our area. And we're excited to share all of this with you. So if you guys are ready, we're going to go through a PowerPoint and just discuss some things. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. If we see them, we'll answer them as we go through. And then towards the end, we definitely chunked some good amount of time out for questions. So if you have any, throw them in there. And if we miss them, we'll make sure to answer them at the end. Oh. You want to open it for me? This one. All right, thanks for your patience, guys. All right, so like I said, we're Great Lakes Drone Company. We are going to go through each company, and to kick us off, I've got my lovely coworker.
What we do aerial cinematography, aerial mapping, aerial agriculture operations, aerial inspections, search and rescue support, drone light shows, and STEM education workshops, and any special projects that can be done with drones.
So a little bit about us. We were established in September of 2016. Our drone shows started in 2017. We've done over 600 performances since we started. And then we rebranded in December of 2019 to give us Starlight Aerial Productions, which is our drone show section. And then established the Great Lakes Rescue side in 2020. And then we just recently launched Farmbotics Air in May of 2022.
So these are things that we're super proud of and really excited about. So we were the first to perform at an air show as a Part 107 pilot. We were the first to conduct an agricultural operation in Sri Lanka. We were the first to perform over the Niagara Falls. Thankfully, everything was good with that one because that one could have gone south very quickly. We are the first to fly a UAS approval with skydivers, so that was really exciting. We also were the first to provide flooding rescues to an open boat, which was amazing to participate with. First to do a UAS solo demo at an air show, and we were the first to perform live in front of 800,000 people. That was very recent in Louisville, Kentucky, so that was an exciting show. Not very often can we hear the entire crowd, but since there was so many people, the oohs and ahs and the wows were really, really encouraging. We could hear everybody, which was amazing. And then we were also the first to perform with a manned aircraft. So these are some of our operation examples. As you can see, we've got on the far right side, Haley just prepping a show. And then I'm going to have Haley explain the two other screens. These are much more her forte as our head pilot.
So the photo that's up on top, those are the screens that I see when we are in show mode. So there's an example of one below it. That is all of the, I'm guessing that's probably from Louisville. So that's 75 drones that are connected all at once. that kind of gives you your home point, the direction they're facing, and basically giving me all the information we need to know to prepare for that show and making sure those drones are ready for that show moving forward. These are some of the examples of what our drone light shows look like. Some of these are very recent and some of them are from earlier on in our conception.
What's really cool about these ones, so with the like hearts that we've got there, they'll spin. The wings of the star image, those are going to actually open up to create the Air Force logo. So a lot of these are not just stagnant images, but they do move. The bird that's in the upper right hand corner, those wings flap. So they are really cool when they're moving, but they are really great when they're standing still. What are the individual the aircrafts used in the air shows? I don't know. Do you guys remember?
Are you asking like what type of drones we're using? Are you asking the manned aircrafts that are used in the air shows? So we actually designed our drones ourselves. They have a basic frame from DJI that's I think it's a Fireflame 450, but everything else that is on our aircraft is we picked out ourselves. So they're all individual parts that we've ordered and created. We 3D print some of the frames and stuff as well. So there's not an exact name and model of it. We just created something to work for what we do.
If you have a name, go ahead and put it in the comments because we need a name now. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the Great Lakes Rescue Division. This is something that we hold really near and dear to our heart because it is a way for us to connect with the community, but really give back in a way that is really special to our hearts with the families and the communities.
I'll go over it. We've done over 125 responses in 2021. We've got, at this point, we are at 82 responses for 2022. We have 5 responder units. 3 of them are medical first responders. We have 1 command unit, boat, 1 rescue boat, and we are the first in the state of Michigan to be FEMA Type 1 accredited. That would be a question for you, Hayden.
So the type of programming that we use is UGCS. UGCS is the program that we use. We also use a open source software that is called Blender that we use to actually animate those programs. And then we transfer that into the flight path for each one of our drones. So that's the program that we use for the swarming. This is an example of, well, one of the examples we have for operations. It is a comparison of the shoreline near us in Chickamee. It gives us information on the water levels and then how far back the beaches have eroded from that water level. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that or not. But... And then this is for our response side. These are the areas that we cover. This map isn't fully updated since recently we added another one, but we cover Van Buren, Berrien, Berry County, and Kalamazoo County. So there's 3 counties that we service for, 4 counties that we service for with the rescue side of our company.
And this is showing the rings of where our response units, who overlaps what side to help mitigate who's going where.
So for our response unit, I don't know if you guys want to touch on just a little bit of what we actually do, like structure fires and.
With our response units, we respond to some of the local fire departments. We help with water rescues from Allegan County all the way down to Indiana state line. We help the sheriff's departments with suspect chases.
I mean, goodness, we do get, was really surprising to me, but we get a lot of incoming calls for, missing animals, which is, it's really sad when somebody misses their animal, but it is something that I don't want to say it's one of the funner calls, but it's really rewarding when we can return somebody's family dog to, their family and the kids. So pretty much like Ashley was saying, like anything that we can do with a drone, we do. Water rescue, fire structure, any way that we can help, we are more than willing to. We recently had a community member who was public service and they unfortunately passed away. So we did cover their funeral service, which was really special to be a part of. So that's what we've got. So we're going to go ahead and take any questions. We've got a couple that are coming through. Haley, I don't know if you want to.
What type of sensors do you have for your drones?
Which drones?
Are we talking for the rescue side? So the rescue side, we have a thermal cam, and
We use the DJI Mavic.
yeah, we use the Enterprise Mavic 2 drones mainly for the rescue side. So we have the thermal camera and the normal RGB camera.
Light show drones don't have the drone light show camera, or drone light show drones do not have cameras. They don't have
any real sensors of sorts other than our GPS positioning. So there's nothing that's going to stop anything from the drones on that aspect of it.
Rescue.
So that was going to be one of the things that I wanted to ask about. Clearly, you're using two different types of drones or multiple different types of drones. And we say so often that drones are a tool. And
Yes.
so you've clearly implemented various tools for each side of what you're doing. And that would include the drone light show has its own type of drone.
Yeah, the drone light show drone is, like Haley was saying, we couldn't really find what we wanted when Matt Quinn started the company. So we made what we wanted. Now there's several on the market, and we're looking around, seeing what's out there. But yeah, I mean, the drones really are a tool to either perform with the drone light show or to really service the community. Kim said, do you have time for all that you do? No, but we make time. We drink a lot of caffeine here. And we do charge for pet search and rescue. If it's something that's really close to the community, like if it's right down the road, we really do try to give back with what we do, but we've had some that are several hours away. So we do charge for that to send a pilot over there.
Or hopefully we have one in the area.
I don't know if you caught it, but in the chat there, Dennis came up with a great name for your drones, and that would be Superior Drones.
Oh, now I don't know, Dennis, if you use that as a play on words because of Lake Superior in Michigan, but I do really like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did indeed.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Let's see. How do you meet, and we're all drone pilots before you met?
So I'll answer for myself, and then we can just kind of go down the line. So I had never worked with anything with drones before joining this company. So I'm actually our sales director, and I've worked in either finance sales or retail sales my whole life. So this is something that I'm really excited that I got to be a part of, because I had no idea that this entire world was out there. So no, I was not involved with drones at all before I came here.
For me personally, it was a hobby before this. I ended up going to school and learning about it, and then ended up here at Great Lakes Drone and dove into way more information. But I love it. So I did have a hobby of it before, but other than that, there wasn't a bunch of information that I had before that.
For me, I was in retail as well. I came on as the sales director, and then as our company grew, I became the operations manager, and I'm learning more as I go. I'm enjoying it. I'm an EMT as well, so that's another way for me to give back to our community and be part of the things that go on around us.
How long did the Canadian waiver process take to fly? That I'm not sure.
I'll say I won't be able to answer that one either.
Yeah, I'm
Not sure about the Niagara Falls question.
that was
Before
any of
we
us.
were here, yeah.
That was very early on within the company starting. Let's see.
A lot of great questions popping.
Yeah,
in.
these are really good questions. What type of drones do you use for aerial inspections?
So we flop back and forth between the Phantom 4 Pro and the Enterprises that we have, the Mavic 2 Enterprises. Those are the two that we jump back and forth between for those inspections. So we have the thermal camera and a normal RGB camera as well.
Infrared too.
So I know there's a lot of questions popping up in here. Can you tell us a little bit about your workflow? I know we saw those pictures in there that had, all the drones lined up and all that. Tell us a little bit about the workflow of what it actually takes to put on a presentation like that.
So we can really go from the start. So how a lot of our shows start is either somebody watched one of our drone shows or they saw it on social media, YouTube, in the news possibly. So a lot of times we either get an email or a call saying, I have this event going on. I've never done a drone show. How could I do this? Or especially with really dry areas of the US, we get a lot of, I can't have fireworks. Are you an option for us to have a presentation? So we really work with them from their budget standpoint, because that helps us pick how many drones we can use. And then once we know how many drones we're going to use, when the event's going to be, if there's a theme like a wedding, we either go through our stock images and let them pick, they like this image, they don't like that image, or they really want initials, for example, for a wedding. If we do a show for like a GM or Ford, we use their logo in there somewhere. So then we kind of enter the design aspect, where then we cultivate the images that we're going to use. Are they going to be stagnant? Are they going to move? And then we select the music or voice over audio that we're going to have synced to the show. And that is where a lot of Haley and Ashley and Matt, our owner, come through with making sure that everything's coordinated really well. And then for the actual event, Haley, if you want to talk about that a little bit more.
So we normally prepare our drones before we leave. And depending on what we're doing, if we can drive to the location, they'll be put in the trailer, all put together. If we're flying to a location, we actually break those drones down to package them in boxes to then be transported to the next location. And then that requires us to put them back together once we get there. Then we have to go through and program each one of those drones. And from there, it's just making sure everything's connecting properly, that everything is weather-wise is okay at that location, and then we're able to perform the show from there. Is there anything I'm forgetting in that stage? So.
Yeah, I don't think so.
One of the questions.
Traditionally, how many drones does it require for a large presentation like that?
So some of those images have several hundred, like that bird that was in there, and then the heart that had like the detail throughout it. Those were several hundred. That was, I want to say, almost 300 drones, if not 250. We offer shows as small as 25 drones. The smaller that you get, the less detail the image has. But we definitely can still perform a really great show with 25. Haley, in fact, is going to Colorado in a couple weeks to perform for a wedding. The bride doesn't know what's happening, so that's super special and exciting for us. So yeah, we can do as small as really 25. I think after that, you really start to lose clarity. But the rule of thumb for like letters or numbers is it really takes about 10 drones per image. Who do you go through for insurance coverage? We got a lot of insurance.
Yeah, I can't even. tell you the name of all the different companies we have. for
Yeah,
insurance,
I'm
so.
not sure who we use for insurance, honestly, but we do cover a lot of, I mean, between our drone response units, because we have vehicles, boats, the drones, all that kind of stuff. I know that we go through several companies. How large is the company? How many employees? The whole,
I'm
yeah,
gonna say we have 5 full-time employees and then about 30 to 35 on call for our drone response side.
what's really cool is when we do drone light shows. So for example, our first show this year was for GM in Arizona. So we flew several employees down there and we stayed at the resort that they were having their conference at. But when we go to shows, we will actually search on like Facebook and platforms for drone like Facebook groups, essentially for people that are really using it as a hobby. And then we'll hire people from that area. So if somebody has their 107 and they can be an observer, they'll come help us put wings on, plug batteries in. And that's always really cool to see because I mean, they love it. It's not something that, I mean, we do it every day. I think that we, become a little desensitized to how cool it is. But yeah, we do hire people from within the community to help us out with that kind of stuff. And then let's see. Do you perform? Oh, this is a Haley Carpenter question.
So based on like trying to figure out data to make sure things are working, yes, we do perform those. We don't do them as often as you would think because a lot of times the drones will tell us if there's something that is wrong. And then I also do for like our rescue group, I perform all the maintenance that's needed for our drones, and that's a monthly thing for me. But yes, we do data analysis, but it's not as often as you would think.
Pilots do you need in operation?
So pilots to operate a show, that depends on the size of our show. If
Technically no, because you didn't need one pilot to sit at the helm and then
Well,
VOs.
True. Okay. So yeah. So one pilot to perform the show. It's more the VOs that depend on the size of the show. 25, we usually only need one other person. But once we start getting into those bigger shows, we try to have more visual observers to help out because of the
Isn't it one VO for every
25.
Is it 25 or 20 now? I don't remember.
I think it's one VO or visual observer for every 25 drones that we have. So once we increase from 25, we have to add more crew members to our shows. You got it.
I did see add me to the list with your email, so I appreciate that. I did write it down. If you guys want to, absolutely drop your emails in that chat and where you're located, and I'll take that information down. We do travel all throughout the US very frequently. We are establishing more in Hawaii, so if anybody's from Hawaii, I mean, I'll consider bringing you on if that means I can still go. But yeah, drop your emails and your locations because we love to meet new people, meet new pilots, have everybody come with us. Yeah, that would be really great. I think so.
So there's a great question that
What
popped
do
up
you
in the
use to
chat
communicate?
about communication. What do you use to communicate amongst each other?
So, right,
With
I was gonna
which
say,
area? I was
yeah.
gonna say if we're on the drone rescue side, we use 800 radios to communicate with our team. With the drone light shows, we use
I can't think of the name of it, but it's
their headsets that connect to each other.
You might want to start writing here, lady, because you got several emails in here.
they say over.
You can save the chat.
Yep, I was gonna say, I'm gonna save the chat. I'm gonna make it easy.
how long do the batteries last for the light shows? So we have a 4-cell battery that we use, and our shows that the max amount of time we do our shows is about 15 minutes. That allows us to do our takeoff move to the location, move back and land. So it's about 15 minutes.
Yeah, the length of the show often depends on if we're going straight up, it allows us more time for more images or more animation within the images. Ashley and Matt were recently in Hawaii. So for that show, they had to launch the drones up and then go over the ocean. So that takes away from how many images we can have, but it was an amazing show.
Have you
what-
ever had any issues with magnetic interference?
Yes, we do.
We do. We definitely go to locations beforehand. That way we can test things out. Haley, maybe you can touch on the garage that happened in California.
In California, we were on top of a parking garage, and when we did our testing, because 90% of the times we will do a test before we do our flights, we noticed that the drones weren't responding the way we liked it. And come to find out, it was because there was electricity that was not grounded through the garage itself. So that was causing our interference, which we ended up having to find a new location real fast to make that show work.
Fleet manager.
That wasn't stressful at all, was it?
No, not at all.
That wasn't stressful at all.
We were extremely thankful for, wasn't it a golf course that we ended up launching from?
No, we actually parked, we did it from the parking lot. So we
Okay.
ended up moving vehicles and doing it from another parking lot location. Fleet management software, that is still through the UGCS program that we use. The way that it's set up, it allows us to organize that fleet and know which drone is what.
Where does our one to,
RVO.
So the number for the VOs is based on our waiver that we have with the FAA. That's how the number is determined for that one.
I'm loving all these emails.
Besides birds.
For the drone light shows, the Part 107 is the main certification. For the rescue side of it, they have a couple more certifications, and Ashley can touch on those a little bit.
We usually have everybody get their FEMA IC 100, 200, 700, 800. So that way, with us being able to be called up by MABUS, we all have those incident command structures and understand how they go for when you're on a bigger scene to help things run smoother.
Ladies, since you live in Michigan, Great Lakes, all that area, I'm real familiar with it. Like, how did the drone light shows perform in specific weather? Like if you went out to Vegas and it was like 110, or if you're up at in the Lake Michigan area and it's like 25 degrees, are you able to perform in those circumstances? Because it looks like also that you perform a lot at nighttime, obviously, so it can be really cold at night.
Our drones are a lot like us. They like warmer weather.
Okay.
What is the specific temperature?
I say I don't know.
They can, it's based on our battery. So we have to watch our batteries very, very closely. Possibly have a second set, like if it's really cold or really hot, you always want to have a second set ready to go in case you're sitting there as you're getting everybody set up, ready to go, all their flight profiles uploaded. If you're starting to drain your battery quickly, you want to have a second set ready to go to switch out as quickly as necessary. So that way you don't have any downtime too much to try and get them reconnected.
This is a good question. Do you send up timed out swarms to lengthen shows?
So not at this point in time. We can't swap any of our drones at this moment. We're working with a company to test that theory. So we're hoping in the near future, we'll be able to swap out drones to correct for that.
So we've got one question for, will you guys be at the commercial UAV Expo in September? I don't know the answer to that just yet. September, we are really fortunate to have a contract with a lot of the native tribal communities. So we do training for their police, for farming. So we right now are not sure because we are going to be in North Dakota
Do you even know when
for,
the dates for that one is?
I don't know them off the top of my head.
Is that the Colorado one? Or is that the
Are you
other?
referring to the one that's in Colorado or Vegas? I guess I should ask. Because there's a couple.
Vegas.
Vegas. So Vegas, we're not
No,
sure
I
yet.
don't think so.
But maybe not super likely. We are going to be, and gosh, I'm so sorry, I can't think of the name of it. There's one, Ashley's gonna pull it up that
It's
we,
the search and rescue one.
yeah, there's a search.
UAS Club Central, Colorado.
So that one is in Colorado, around September 11th. We literally, before we signed onto the Zoom, we did decide that we're going to end up speaking at that one. So that would really be a really great one to go to. The resort that it's at is really pretty too, if that sways your opinion. Do you have to get a waiver for each operator or one for each show? That's a great question.
It's based on each show. So it's not on the operator, it's based on each show.
Loving all these emails.
The FEMA certifications is your 100, 200, 700, and 800. They're all free on the FEMA website to take, and helps you get a better understanding of incident command and how it runs.
Yeah. Oh, Renee, congratulations. Just passed the FEMA courses.
Slide down.
We're trying to slide the chat and you guys are crushing it with all these emails and questions. So I love it.
No, your
We
computer
might
just-
be caught up on questions. If we missed one though, will you re-put it in there? Because we want to make sure that we don't miss any.
There were quite a few that were popping in there, and so
Yeah.
you did a great job, but I wouldn't be surprised if some got glazed over. A lot of great responses going on in the chat. We love that. So we saw the image of you having all your drones lined up and everything. And when we're looking at this light show, the placement of the lights actually on the drone, are they based on the arms of the drone, or is it on the top? Where is the actual?
They're on the bottom of the drone. They're so we have the main frame, but the LED sits underneath the bottom of it. We have a removable dome that we have created to work to diffuse all that light. So that dome is on the bottom, so it's between the legs and the top of the drone. It's
Awesome. Do your light shows have music included in them?
They do. So we'll either have music synchronized in them. There was a show that we recently did in Waukesha that we opened up with a voiceover. So we introduced ourselves and then we linked it to a song that was the opening song for the show. So either it's a voiceover or music.
so the power of the lights, it's a 700 lumen.
It's a special, yeah, we designed our LED light board for our drones as well.
Lots of planning, lots and lots of
Yes.
planning, Bill. You are not wrong.
Yes, amazing tech.
Oh, I wish that I could give you more information, Kim, on the Niagara Falls show. That was unfortunately before any of us were at the company. If you put your email in there though, I can email you and ask if you have any specific questions for it when we connect with Matt. He was the head pilot for that operation. And he's actually in Tahoe right now doing a site visit because we are going to perform over Lake Tahoe for the next Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Where am I? I just want to
just-
restart summer.
I was just asking because you kind of was like, oh, Niagara Falls, like that was like, it's surprising that nothing happened. So I thought maybe, we wanted a little, do you have a dramatic story for us? Like we all have our dramatic stories where, everything was supposed to go a certain way and it went the opposite way. Like you have something very dramatic for us?
For Niagara Falls, I'm not entirely certain about the drama factor of that one. Very recently, we were in Norfolk, Virginia, and that was very interesting. So we were we were along the water line and we had a cruise ship that docked, which was really exciting for the community because a lot of people were getting on it and a lot of people were getting off of it. And come to find out through a very nice Homeland Security director, I found out that you can't move the ropes, and our drones were on the other side of there. So I just very quietly and politely moved what I needed to get to our drones. And a couple minutes later, we had some very lovely officers come talk to Haley and I and say, you can't do that. You need to not be in here. So that day was a little bit hectic because we were saying, well, we have to be here if you want a show tonight, and we need to, you know, perform our day of show operations, setting everything up, putting the wings on, the blades, everything. And we weren't allowed in that area in the time that we thought that we were going to be. So we did that very, very quickly. And the flight pattern
Was a little different than our
Yeah.
normal flight pattern, but
so normally when we do a show, if we have, we'll say 100 drones set up and they're in a square, we're going to put them in 10 rows, and each row is going to have a set amount, and they go up, they hover, and then once they reach that length, they're going to go up again, and that's when they reach the show height. So for these ones, we had, it was a diamond.
Yes.
it was a diamond, and then it was a random amount that would come up in the air for each section. So it was a little hectic, a little different for all of us, but
Mhm.
it performed real well. So
Yeah, everybody in the community loved the show. It turned out great. But for us underneath it, we're saying we would prefer to never do that flight pattern again.
The challenges, right? Like, so the challenges, and what I love about the three of you is just the teamwork. You know, a lot of times what we see in the drone industry is that a lot of people try to do it on their own. You know, people want to start their own business, do things on their own because they're afraid of competition. But the teamwork really, you know, you all coming in and doing what you do well, and then communicating well together, and then, you know, learning together is awesome. So after you go through a situation like that, you know, because obviously you're in some really, like Homeland Security, you're in some really, you know, unique situations. You know, do you learn like who you need to communicate? Like when you go in, do you say, hey, who's in charge of this area and who do we need to talk to? Is there that element there?
Yeah, that's something. So we have like flight meetings. With events, we communicate extensively with the site coordinators beforehand. This was a surprise because they didn't know that this cruise ship was coming through. They knew that it was coming through, but they didn't know that they were going to block off where we needed to be. It was a really great, is it called Mermaid Festival? Was that what it was?
It was Harbor Fest.
Harbor Fest. So there were so many people there, and really the people that we were working with were just amazing about communication. That was a really special event because we had the drone light team going on. We also had our, what is it called? The tracker.
I just had it too.
Aerial armor.
Yes, aerial armor.
I was gonna say.
Dang it, I
We
just
had
had
our aerial armor there working with the police. So really I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but any drone that goes into the air and is flying around, we with that piece of equipment can actually see what the drone is, who's flying it. And it's really for safety precautions, just because if somebody's not supposed to be flying in that area, that's a naval base. So that one's a little bit stickier of where you can and can't fly. But you know, we had somebody who, she was really sweet. She came up and she said, hi, I was hired by this event to do photography. I just want to let you know I'm going up. So that was really cool because we not only had Starlight working there, but we also had our rescue division. How do you
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. And it was, you know, that too, like, you know, as a lady, you know, that's important. But a lot of times we've been out flying like in Philadelphia, not to pick on people in Philadelphia, but, you know, we literally like, we're out having a drone hangout and we see another drone in the air, and then that person is like hiding behind a tree. They don't want to communicate with us. So that's really cool, you know, that you guys have that great communication and that you're showing, you guys are setting the standard, I guess is what I want to say.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge compliment. I mean,
Yeah.
I do have to say this is a really great team of people here. There's not one job that any of us are asked to do or ask other people to that we wouldn't do ourselves. And we really do see this as a drone community. We really want to be as connected as possible because this is such a new world that we're entering into with drones, and there's so much room for growth. And there's so much that, I mean, we haven't even, in my opinion, touched on everything that drones can do. So really the education aspect that, you know, if we learn something, we want to get that information out there to help other people be as best as they can, and vice versa. We want to gather and absorb as much information as we can with other pilots in other parts of the world, because I mean, really drones are, I mean, Matt really jokes that they're the gateway drug to aviation. They're accessible for a lot of people. And I think that the more we can be connected with people in the community, really the more that we're going to learn about what we can do with these drones. I saw how long do our shows last. It really depends on if it's a stagnant image or if it spins, but like Ashley had mentioned, really 15 minutes is where we like to be at. That's really the most that our batteries right now can be pushed to.
So do you ever just fly for fun? And if you do, what kind of drones? I would think that, is it Haley, number 2 in the back? To me, she seems like she's an FPV girl.
Oh, boy. So funny you say that.
Yeah, she's got that FPV energy.
So that's really funny that you say that. We're
Yeah.
actually doing a couple car reveals for Dodge in Detroit later, and we just ordered some really great new FPV drones, and we were testing them out just the other day, and we were both sitting down because my gosh, if we weren't sitting when we were flying them, we were going to fall over.
Yeah, so FPV is new to me, so that was it was a great experience, and we're getting a lot of training in before that next show performance. So that's a new drone for me, but that's funny that you brought that
Yeah,
up.
that was very.
That's going to be a game changer for you ladies. Oh my land, because that's a whole skill in itself. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like I said, always learning, right?
I see a question from Bill. How do you debrief? Are you talking about on the rescue side or on the
Yeah, either one, you know, just taking, as we were talking about the lessons learned, how do you capture that? And then how do you make sure that you're aware of what went right, what went wrong, that type of stuff. I'm a prior military pilot, so debriefing was as important as the brief.
Yes.
Exactly. With the rescue side, we debrief. We usually do trainings once a month with all of our team. We'll bring them in twice, 2 times a day. So that way our team that doesn't work during the day, they can come during the day, and we have a night training. With some of our higher profile situations that can put people a little bit on edge, such as helping out the SWAT team because you have somebody that's popping shots off in random directions. We'll do a little bit more closer debrief with the crew that was on site for that, to see how they're doing, keeping up with their mental health, to make sure everything that they're okay. And then we'll debrief in the office with everybody to go, okay, this is what you could have done here, or this is how this was great. Because we'll sit there and review the footage and show, okay, here's what happened. This is what, because on one of our incidences, we accidentally had somebody clip a tree, and that took that drone out till we could get to it, until the scene was safe. But we took that as knowledge. Thankfully, it was just broken blades.
Yep.
So it was minor issues. So we sat there and going, okay, here's what happened and how it happened and why it happened. It's all a learning experience. We all have fun. When it comes to our drone light shows, as we're all cleaning up and taking our props off, if we have to take legs off, we all go through and go through our process of, okay, here's what we should have done differently. This is what went wrong. This is what we felt went wrong. To sit there and also compare with what she could see on the screen. And sometimes we're on the same page and sometimes she didn't see what I saw and vice versa.
We also do monthly meetings, or I'm sorry, weekly meetings. So every Monday we start off as all of our full-time employees. We all sit down and we talk about, you know, what was the last show that we were at? Like you said, what went really great? What can we do better next time? What do we have that's coming up? What do we need to do to prepare? You know, are there any flight permits that we need to pull? So we do a lot of debriefing and a lot of communication.
I see that you're expanding into the agricultural mapping area. What else do you think that your capability could be applied to? We do have our part 137. We have our full-time agricultural gentleman is working on getting to where he can spray for pesticides. We're starting off with mosquitoes because it's coming into our fall time and football season. So we're going to sit there and try and connect with some of the schools to sit there and help spray the stadiums down so that way nobody gets bitten or eaten up while they're sitting there for the football games. Describe the fixed wing show.
So our company doesn't use any fixed wings. At least not at this.
How about the manned show that you were discussing?
Oh, okay. The
Go
one
ahead.
with Ken.
Go ahead. I'll let you do that.
As far as we communicate, we have an aircraft radio that we use to talk to whichever aircraft we are using, which pilot is. We communicate with them, and that way we can also, when we're on my brain just did a photo dump.
It takes a lot of planning beforehand. So we'll pick out, because we use fireworks also, we will have performance boxes. So we'll have sections where our drones will be in this part, the pilot of the manned aircraft will either fly in front, behind, above, whatever that is. All that's decided beforehand. That way there's the most slim possible chance, I mean, really 0% is what we're aiming for, of being in either person's airbox. And then same with fireworks, we plan out, okay, where are they being launched from? What's the max height that they can reach? How close does that make them to the drones? So it takes a lot of planning beforehand. I don't know if that exactly answers your question.
So you actually fire off fireworks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we perform with fireworks. I mean, I would say honestly pretty frequently. We are going to be in Mississippi, if anybody's in Mississippi, for the Mississippi Aquarium fundraising event that they have in September, correct?
September 30th is the show.
Right towards the end of September. And we will be launching, this is the second year that we've done it, but we're launching, well, we are not, we have a crew that's doing it, but a firework crew that we're working with, and they're launching fireworks off of the pier while we're doing a drone show. So you get a whole lot of things to watch in the sky then.
Awesome. Those
They're
are
really good questions.
Yeah, they are very good questions popping in there. Looks like we still have some more coming through. Don't forget.
Direct link. I think Ashley is going to pull that up on her phone for the direct link and the website for the FEMA certificates. There's definitely a lot of them out there.
So did you have to apply beyond getting the certificates? Did you have to apply with FEMA to be on some log for them to say, okay, we have a disaster or we need some help or rescue assistance over here, and they would dispatch you?
Yeah, there was a lot of preparation that went into that. And that was really at the start of when we became certified, is when I was really joining the company. There was a lot of, I mean, it's very specific layout. You have to have a table and all of the supplies that's going to be on there. And then you do have somebody who is certified by the state to come and check everything, make sure that you have safe equipment, you have operational vehicles that, again, are safe, so that everything is done very, very professionally. It's not something that I can just say, great, I'm going to go start my own rescue division and tomorrow I'm going to be up and running. So yeah, there's a lot of checks and balances that play into that. Alicia, if you haven't put your email in there, if you want to put your email down below for me, I'm going to go through all the ones that you guys entered in, and we can send you that link when we find it.
Awesome. So we are just about out of time. We're coming up to the top of the hour. We have about 5 minutes left. And I know a lot of questions have been popping in here. And so we'll have an opportunity to save the chat. But how about if we just kind of go around with that last minute of what is your most exciting job that you have actually done that you like the best?
For myself personally, it was probably the kickoff to the Kentucky Derby, which was our Louisville show. That was really amazing to be a part of. We were sitting where we were sitting essentially was in the middle of like a bowl pretty much. So we were completely surrounded by people that were watching the drone show. And I'm not kidding, you could hear people go, oh my gosh, ooh, when the drones were flying. There was a lot of manned aircraft there that performed the day off because it was an air show. So we had a lot of military members, and it was the 75th year for the Air Force. So we did a tribute to the Air Force. That was really great. You could hear the people that were around us. And then they did have a budget for about 1.5 million for fireworks afterwards. So that's hands down the best fireworks show I've ever seen. If you YouTube the Thunder over Louisville 2022, you can watch the whole show, and it's amazing. It's really great.
That was gonna be one of the ones I was gonna say, but also us performing at Sun and Fun was fun for me. Aviation, I've slowly started getting into, and it was great to see all the planes and talk with all the people that we work with at Sun and Fun. So I would say that would be my favorite experience thus far.
I'm gonna say Sun and Fun is one of. I got to enjoy Thunder over Louisville because I didn't actually have to work that show, so I got to sit there and be support for the team because I was there enjoying it with my kids.
I was gonna say, Ashley might say that she wasn't working, but I watched her take a lot of blades and batteries off at the end of the day, which I appreciated.
Well, I couldn't let you guys do it all alone. I felt bad just sitting there not going, I'm not working, I'm working, I can't.
I would say consensus, that one was probably our favorite show as a team to perform at.
Between that one and Sun and Fun. I enjoy Sun and Fun, the week at Sun and Fun, because we do get to interact with a lot of the man pilots. We've become friends with a lot of them. And it's just something different. I mean, a lot of man pilots look at drones as they're not friendly to us at times, but because we are doing more and more with the air shows, we are gaining the respect, and it's very humbling to see.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. So many wonderful comments that have popped up into our chat. So we want to make sure that we've saved our chat, but it's just amazing to hear the stories and the outreach, how you've been able to do the rescue and incorporate so many different aspects of the drone industry into what you are doing. And yeah, like Bill just said, I bet they are humbled by you. And
you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of this. We were so excited when y'all reached out and asked us if we would chat. This is definitely something that we have the privilege of doing every day. And I'm so thankful for your guys' emails that you put in, because believe me, we definitely will be reaching out when we are in your area. And our information, so our website is right there. Our phone number is also listed on that screen if you want to take it and jot it down. But if you go to our website and you hit chat with the representative, you're going to chat with Ashley or I. So if you have any questions or, need any information, please feel free to reach out. We would love to meet you guys in person, and especially to perform a show for you.
Awesome. Well, we cannot thank you enough. Everybody's just so thrilled and still putting stuff into our chat. And so we just thank you. Thank you so much for your time, sharing with us your enthusiasm and your talent. It's amazing what you are doing. So thank you very much for sharing with us today. And I want to say, don't forget to save the chat, everybody. A lot of good information in there today. All right, we'll see everybody next week. And oh, look, even more questions popping in. But at some point we have to say, we'll reach out to you, right?
Yes,
Well, you
I
guys-
hit save chat, so hopefully that will keep everything in there. We've got
And
that.
they gave the information, so you can always email them or chat with them. And so you can keep on asking questions. And I just want to say, once again, thank you, ladies, for being the leaders and helping and assisting to bridge the gap of women and drones.
Thank you guys so much. We
100%.
appreciate you guys
Yeah.
letting us join.
All right.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you for everything.
you.
See you, everybody. See you
Bye.
next week. Have a great
Bye,
day.
everybody. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies. You did an awesome job. We
No,
just
you
loved your
He might be
presentation.
one to help.
Bye.
So-
Bye.
That kind of wraps it up.